Good Tuesday morning, South Florida. Morning field meteorologist Julie Durda, and we are preparing for quite a bit of rain as we are waiting for potential tropical cyclone 9 to be named as a named storm as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico. So there is a flood watch across southwestern half of Florida. For us here on the eastern half so far, the only thing we're concerned about will be what's happening across the Keys, because that's really with the closest proximity of the storm we'll get. Broward and Miami-Dade, we'll see our winds pick up and we'll see some heavy rain, but that's not until tomorrow and Thursday. So let's enjoy this Tuesday because it's fantastic out there. Breezes picked up moving in off the ocean anywhere between 8 to 9 to 15 miles per hour. Our temperatures are in the low to mid to upper 80s. Again, the forecast calls for us to have another beautiful day, a bit breezy, and then those outer bands already start to move into our forecast for tonight. Going into Wednesday, it's going to be stormy, and then the forecast really deteriorates as we go into Thursday until we see the system move further away from us by Friday. Now, the further away the system gets, the better our weather pattern will be. We'll start to have those tropical storm force winds being dealt across parts of the lower Keys and the dry Tortugas, the middle Keys as well. We could be seeing winds gusting well into the 30s going into Wednesday night and into Thursday. So we'll see some heavy rain at times. We need to watch the exact track because we need to wait for the system to become a named storm to see how much the rain totals will be in our forecast. But regardless, rain chances go up tomorrow and Thursday, lingering Friday morning. Have a great day.
Good morning, South Florida. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Alex Finney.
Hi there, I'm Eric Yutzi. We've got a lot to cover for you all throughout the morning. But first, let's get that forecast, get you out the door and ready for this terrific Tuesday. A lot happening in our forecast, but of course, all eyes on what is happening in the tropics.
That's right. Tropical storm watch issued for most of Central Florida as potential tropical cyclone 9 moves across the Caribbean and into the Gulf of Mexico. Hurricane and storm surge watches issued for portions of the Gulf Coast. We know that Weather Authority meteorologist Julie Durda, she is on top of everything for us this morning. We're sending things over to her now.
That's right. Good morning, Alex, South Florida. And it's because this system is so large and it is going to be very close to our coastline. While it will be well to the west of us, I do want you to understand that the system is still not completely developed. We've got really the worst of the weather on the eastern edge of the central center of where the National Hurricane Center is showing the center is. As of right now, look at that robust amount of moisture right over Jamaica and into the western half of Cuba. So as we watch the system evolve and continue to strengthen as it moves into the very warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, we're talking about the system becoming Category 1 hurricane. You can see just west of the dry Tortugas. This is around Thursday morning, and that's really when we'll start to feel the worst impacts, which will be the indirect impacts. But still, you saw just how disorganized that system is and really lopsided with all the moisture on the eastern edge. Look, that's exactly where we're going to be. So we need to continue to watch the system as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico. 5M advisory has winds of 35 miles per hour. It's moving northwest at 8 miles per hour. Now, we do have a tropical storm warning in effect for the edge of Cuba, western Cuba, and then you can see a tropical storm watch for the dry Tortugas and parts of the lower Keys, and obviously the west coast of Florida. And then it turns into a hurricane watch as we are expecting the system to possibly strengthen to a Category 3 hurricane before making landfall in the Panhandle of Florida. For us, we're noticing now rain bands continuing to filter into our area starting tonight and into tomorrow till Thursday. Our rainfall total is about 2 to 4 inches, but obviously the worst of the weather where the system will be making landfall and closest to it. As for winds, our winds really don't start to increase in our forecast until Wednesday into Thursday. So again, today is going to be a nice day, but we need to prepare for these winds, especially for you in the Keys, the middle and the lower Keys, winds gusting well into the 40s and 50s. Broward and Miami-Dade, 30s and 40s. The timing on that is Wednesday night into Thursday morning. More on all this coming up. The good news is, Eric and Alex, we can start with the tropics because our local forecast, just like yesterday, is going to be fantastic. You took that live look from our Ocean Key Resort Tower Cam. Key West are under a tropical storm watch as they're going to have to deal with really the worst of whatever potential tropical cyclone number 9 brings them. And why? Because look how lopsided the system is. The actual center is well displaced from the cluster of thunderstorm activity on the eastern edge of the system. So as the system watch moves more towards the north, we have Hurricane Hunter aircraft out there right now. looks as though they just picked up speeds of 43 miles per hour. They're going to continue to investigate because there's a lot of convection out there, and we're waiting for the system to strengthen, but not yet. Looks as though they still have the winds of 35 miles per hour, moving to the northwest at 9. As it moves in and threads that needle between Cuba and the Yucatan, that's when it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, and that's when it's really the closest approach to the dry Tortugas and the lower Keys, and that's why they are under a tropical storm watch. As we go into the next couple days, really all eyes on northern half of our state because they'll be under a hurricane watch and then eventually a warning as the system really speeds up and strengthens as it makes landfall somewhere in the Panhandle, Florida. Rainfall totals, we're expecting a good 4 to 8 inches, possibly some 10 inches in some isolated areas to the north. And for us in our backyard, 2 to 4 inches, maybe even some 6 inches expected starting tomorrow and leading into Saturday. So our forecast, yes, the Keys, you're expecting the possibility of tropical storm force wind gusts going into Wednesday, Thursday morning. Broward and Miami-Dade, we're talking winds of 30 to 40 miles per hour. The other thing accompanied with these winds and the rain is the storm surge. We are expecting a good 1 to 3 feet of storm surge from the dry Tortugas all the way up towards the upper Keys. Obviously higher storm surge for the west coast of Florida. Now for us, we have plenty of time to prepare for these showers and storms, and we're no stranger to them because they will be the outer feeder bands of the system once it moves more towards the north. For today, we'll stay mostly dry. I'll have more in the forecast coming up.